Hello, everybody, and welcome to Honor Thy Podcast. This is the weekly DCTV Arrowverse podcast we do here where we discuss everything Arrowverse. I'm your host, Declan McKinney, otherwise known as DCTV Talk, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Dan McCance, otherwise known as Mule Kick Media.
Hey, what's up?
We're back.
Have we gone for a week or 2 weeks? I can't remember.
It was a week we were gone for while you were leisuring it up.
I was
in Lanzarote.
Hey, I was enjoying my time off.
You were enjoying yourself.
Well, the only negative is it cost me valuable binging time for Iron Fist because the internet was awful.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it'd be better to talk about Iron Fist this week than some of this news, but oh well. But what we're going to do is we're going to be continuing our series we started a couple weeks ago, and we're going to be doing our top 5 Legends of Tomorrow Season 3 episodes. So we've got actually a really good season to discuss here.
Yeah.
And we're going to go through the news as always. So luckily, even we were gone for a week, but there wasn't really that much news anyway, so we're doing all right. So we'll dive straight into it. This is breaking just today, and we got some new images for Titans on the DC Universe streaming service. These images, I think they look cool. But I don't know how other people are reacting to this on the internet.
There's some things that I like about them, but there's a few images that I'm like, ugh.
I think I really love. I mean, I've said this from day one, but I love Brenton Thwaites, and I think he looks great.
You just have a man. You've now got like an emerging man crush on Brenton Thwaites.
I always just because I remember last year when I saw Pirates 5, he was the best part of it, and then when he was cast as Robin, I was like, that is perfect. Now, what is important about these photos though is that we do see Jason Todd, and it confirms that Jason Todd is Robin at this point. Because he has his own suit.
So basically, it's just not interesting because he's not Red Hood.
Because he's not Red Hood.
Well, why did they not
Did anybody expect him to be Red Hood?
I wanted it to be Red Hood.
I wanted it to be Red Hood, but I didn't expect it to be Red Hood because at the end of the day, you can just kind of assume that this is Dick Grayson just leaving the Robin position, and now Jason Todd has stepped in. Yeah, and I feel like this is going to be a thing where he's going to be like, "Oh yeah, has Batman hit you yet?"
God's sake!
The rest of the images, like. Hawk and Dove look cool. I'm actually pretty excited about Hawk and Dove. But then again, it's just like the rest of the Titans, like Raven's costume, Starfire's costume in particular. Even though they said it wasn't the final suit, but obviously it clearly is. And same with Beast Boys as well. Because there's actually a shot which was released by Entertainment Weekly where you can see it was basically the team lineup. And it's just, it's just all of them together. And they've all got terrible costumes. But then you've got Robin in the middle who looks amazing. And then, everyone else just looks awful in comparison. And I guess that's maybe intentional in a way because, obviously, Robin would have had that suit made for him by Batman, whereas everyone else is just, makeshift.
Yeah.
So I guess it kind of makes sense, but it just, it stands out quite apparently. So...
Yeah, I mean, maybe it works out for story reasons, but just in terms of, a visual aspect, it's not the greatest. It's like, oh, look at that great suit, and then everyone else is just like, oh, it's just shit.
Yeah, it doesn't look great at all. But I'm still kind of optimistic for Titans. I definitely want to watch it. I will definitely watch it when it comes out. I just think these images, they're a bit of a mixed bag. So it's kind of weird, but I do enjoy what we are seeing here for the most part. And I'm glad we get to see Jason Todd now because I'm actually really interested to see how they use Jason Todd, especially because I believe isn't one of the episodes called Jason Todd.
Yeah, one of the episodes is Jason Todd.
I think it's episode 7. So yeah, so we are going to get quite a lot surrounding him, which is cool. It was actually quite the week for images because we also got some Supergirl images where we get to see Kara in the Catco offices with Nia Nal, who is the new character played by Nicole Maines. This is actually one of the storylines. It sounds weird, but this is actually one of the storylines I'm most looking forward to in season 4, just because it's bringing it back to that journalism side of it, of Kara that we saw in season 1 in particular. One of the only good things I liked in season 1. And they have sort of said that Nia is going to be going down the same sort of story arc and same sort of path that Kara went down in season 1, and she's going to be like Kara's apprentice. So I'm actually really looking forward to this storyline, and I really like Nia in these images. She looks very good. And there is a third image which has our favorites of Lena and James, our favorite gun and anti-gun advocates, talking to Kara. They seem to be pretty happy. James is rocking a very swaggy shirt, as he always tends to do. But yeah, there's not really much to discuss on that one. I just wanted to bring that up.
I haven't even seen the images.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing too special. It's just again, I just like seeing the Catco office again. And I like sort of seeing this sort of stuff. So yeah, I quite like it. And again, it's one of the things I'm actually looking forward to in season 4. But we'll talk about season 4 a little bit in a few minutes. We also got some images from the Flash. We got a whole ton of images from the Flash. They basically released the promo photos for season 1, which obviously when the shows are back and when they're in swing, obviously we get like, what, usually between sort of 7 to 10 photos per episode as normal, but we actually got like 15 ones very early on for season 5, episode 1. There's not too much to discuss with these. Like, They are pretty generic, but it's just they show some stuff. Like, you get to see Joe about to be attacked by Cicada.
So Joe's dying.
Joe's dead in episode 1.
Everybody's making them clickbait videos.
He could do, because think about it. Jesse L. Martin wasn't at Comic-Con this year.
Yeah, maybe he is. Maybe he's dying. That's the big death they open up on, because no one died in season 4.
Because I thought they were going to kill Wally in episode 1, but they're not.
Nah, it's gonna be Joe, and then we're all gonna cry.
We're
gonna cry because we're gonna have lost Quentin. And
we're gonna have lost the Arrowverse dads in the space of like 6 months.
I mean, you've already been through enough trauma with Quentin. Like, just adding Joe to that's not helping.
The season 6 Blu-ray came out last week, and I watched that finale. I still cried again.
Oh my god!
And I watched it because what's very nice with the Blu-rays, they come with the full crossover. So I watched the crossover for the first time since it came out. And Martin Stein's death, my god, I was in tears again. It's Jax's performance.
You are a pussy.
I'm not. I just get invested in these characters, and I like it's so well done. Especially, I just find it sad because Quentin's gone, and we're never getting him back. And
did you cry a little?
I
bet in a weird way you cried when you saw Nazi Quentin, because it's like so much potential.
Nazi Quentin.
He should have been the main villain of the crossover. Facts.
What they should do with Arrow every season now. I know it's only got like 2 seasons left in it. But what we should do is for the next 2 seasons, we get a different Quentin from a different Earth, like they do with Wells on the Flash. That's what we need to do. I think that's what we need to do personally, or just get Barry to screw time travel, just travel back in time, get Quentin, and yeah. Anyway, that's my sort of rant over. So yeah, Flash images. Again, not too much to discuss. We get to see a little bit of Ralph as well, who's now seems to be like a pretty well implemented member of the team. And yeah, it's just like basic images. We get to see some stuff with Nora as well. People have noticed as well that on Nora's costume, she's got those Speed Force symbols on it.
Yeah.
Adding even more speculation as to what the hell's going on, even though we'll probably never find out.
No, because they never explained it in season 4. All them Speed Force symbols. How did Devoe know about the Speed Force symbols?
Yeah. So yeah, maybe that'll get explained, maybe it won't. And we also get a look at the villain who Barry was fighting in those set photos. He's called Gridlock. He's got a pretty awful mask, but
that is terrible.
But this is just gonna be like a 1-episode villain. It's not gonna be, anything huge. But yeah, these images, they look cool, and again, get me excited. I'm actually pretty excited for Flash season 5, but then again, I was for season 4, so we'll have to see how it goes. How are you feeling on season 5? What's your overall sort of consensus
on the Flash? I honestly, I don't know, because it's like season 4 and season 3. It's just like it's kind of like made me so demoralized when it comes to season 5 now. I'm just
hoping season 5 is the revival, like Arrow was.
Yeah, if it follows the Arrow pattern and has a really good season 5.
It's followed it so
far. Well, I don't know. It's just there are things that I think are interesting. I'm interested by Cicada or Cicada.
I'm actually really interested by Cicada now. Yeah, because I was not looking forward to him at all. But the more we hear about him, the more we see of him, he's actually really cool.
Yeah,
anyway.
Yeah, I'm quite interested with him, just to see what they do with him. Just because I want them to make like a villain, that's not a non-speed. This is a non-speed, so that is actually well developed and doesn't become this OP villain who should just be defeated like easily, like Devoe was. I mean, it's just honestly, Devoe they just fucked up. Yeah. So I just hope.
Also, they said about Cicada as well in the TV Line article, which we're not going to include in here because it's just so much to go through. And it's late. But it basically says that the Flash isn't actually his target. It's just he hasn't actually got a problem with the Flash. It's just the Flash is trying to stop him, and he's just sort of in his way.
So basically, Ricardo Diaz.
In a way, yeah. I mean, we still
yeah.
don't know what his actual plan is. All we know is that it doesn't involve the Flash directly,
Even
which
though
is different to what
even
the
though he
villains.
killed his surrogate dad, probably.
Well, we don't know that.
Probably.
Yet. I mean, it'll definitely be a shocking start to the season. Are they trying to pull an Arrow season?
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Is that what they're doing?
And then they're gonna revive Joe with Speed Force magic. In a pop.
Joe's gonna be a speedster in season 5.
They're gonna take him to Apartment 4 and he'll be resurrected as a speedster.
Yes.
That's what Apartment 4 is. It's a Lazarus pit.
Oh, and you get to see the body of Thea in there. That's where Thea and Nyssa ended up, and Roy's had to come back. Oh, brilliant! See, this is the whole point of having a TV universe. It all fits together, and then we can bring Quentin back. We can take his body. We'll find his body wherever it is, and we'll throw it in the pit. We'll get Quentin back. He can have bloodlust. He can become an assassin. It's all good. Anyway,
yeah, but
that's the dream.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm interested in it. It's just obviously because of the last 2 seasons, I've not got the most confidence. I mean, it's really kind of summed up for me. But the whole I don't know how you put it, but debacle around Barry's suit kind of sums up my whole opinion on how hyped I am for season 5. In that one week, in the fact that sometimes I'm like, oh no, I'm quite looking forward to it. It looks all right, and then I look at it other times, it's just like, ugh. It really does sum up my whole impression from what I'm getting from all the promotional stuff that we've gotten. I mean, I want to be proven disappointed because in a weird way, I kind of feel similar pre-release. For this season of The Flash as to how I felt with Arrow Season 5, because I don't know if you'll remember this, but I wasn't even that excited for Arrow Season 5, because I remember you were constantly telling me, oh, it's going to be pretty good, and I was like, ugh, because I think I'd just gotten to the point where I'd had 2 good seasons, 2 mediocre seasons, and I was like, ugh, I don't know what to expect. I just feel the same way for this season of The Flash, just in terms of what they're showing, so I don't know. I'm interested for it, but I am preparing myself for disappointment.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually, because I remember I was really excited about season 4. I think it was maybe my most excited one actually going into last season. I was really looking forward to the Flash, just all the stuff we were hearing about it. I was really excited about the Thinker, the new tone, the suit, the introduction of the elongated man. I was really excited about all of that, and they just kind of shit the bed really. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about the Flash. Like I said, I mean, obviously my most anticipated is Arrow, obviously, but it's Flash probably isn't far off, to be honest, for me. I would say Legends, but it's just we haven't really seen much. We also got, speaking of that suit, we got a mixture of different images. We got a new Flash poster for episode 1, where you can see Barry and Nora, and in this photo, the suit looks beautiful
because they hide all the shit parts that were lightning.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head before we started recording, where you said in all the actual set photos and images from the show and the trailer itself, the stuff we're actually going to see is it looks bad, but in all the promo photos and the actual stuff they can edit and the posters and stuff, it looks great. So yeah, I'm very up and down with this suit. One image, I'll love it. The next image, I'll hate it. Especially, I mean, I assume you've seen that leaked image where it is Barry and Nora together from the actual show itself, and the suit looks terrible in that photo.
It's so shit.
It looks really it looks like he's wearing leggings that don't quite fit him right. It looks really odd. Especially in comparison, because Nora's suit is really good, and it's just in comparison, it looks terrible. I honestly wish they would have just stuck with the season 4 suit now. Just edit it a little bit and slim it down a little bit. It would have been fine.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know at this point.
Should we have some good Arrow news?
Yes. Yeah, let's go to Arrow news. Let's uplift our spirits.
We've got some good Arrow news. So Stephen Amell has actually renewed his contract with the CW. Obviously, he was contracted for 7 seasons. So now, if Arrow gets an 8th season, that's the thing. If it gets an 8th season, Stephen Amell is able to come back and reprise his role as Oliver Queen in the show, should it get a season 8. So that's kind of the thing is, at the discretion of the CW, if it gets a season 8, then Stephen Amell can come back. I mean, not really a massive surprise, I suppose. I mean, Arrow would never continue without Stephen Amell. I'm sorry.
Even though he said it before, and it's no, it can't.
It wouldn't. Stephen Amell is the backbone of that show, more so than Melissa Benoist on Supergirl and Grant Gustin on The Flash. It's just Arrow would die. As much as I'd love to see like Roy Harper take the mantle,
Oh my god, this man's a Roy fanboy.
it just wouldn't. It wouldn't do it. Like it just wouldn't work. So yeah, I'm happy about this because obviously I'm pretty sure Arrow is going to get a season 8 at this point.
I don't know. It's just
I think if it was,
yeah,
they would have said it by now. However, granted, obviously it all comes down to the results day, I guess you could say, when all the shows get renewed.
Yeah, I'd be really.
So,
I find it really funny.
I guess we have to wait and see. But if it does get a season 8, Steven's coming back, which is always good.
Yeah, I just find it really funny though, if they're like all this confidence that they have in getting an 8th season, and then the viewership is just shit. Because honestly, I would not be surprised if like the premiere for season 7 doesn't get above like 1.10 million views. I honestly don't think it will. Because I just look at the trajectory and how like low it's been, especially in the back half of last season. I'm just like I don't have confidence in it.
I don't necessarily, but I think like season 7 is the make or break for it because they're doing so many, like we've got a new showrunner, new night, new time slot. They're really trying to push the limits of what they can do on the CW. Like we've heard that like they're just trying to do like really violent stuff. In especially Oliver's in prison, so I think they're really trying to get some new things to get that viewership back that they lost 3 seasons ago. But yeah, I don't necessarily have the biggest faith it will gain. Because I remember back in season 1, Arrow was getting like massive numbers.
Yeah.
Like season 1, season 2, it was getting like huge numbers. And then when it got to season 4, obviously everyone dropped off the show completely, and it never quite regained that. As amazing as season 5 was, it never managed to gain back that audience it lost. And it seems like with this new time slot, because let's be honest, that Thursday time slot that they gave Arrow in season 6 just did not do it any favors whatsoever.
It killed it.
Terrible time slot. Terrible time slot.
Yeah.
I think what they should. I still don't think it's perfect now. I think they should swap Legends and Arrow around and put Arrow on the 9 because that way they can do more violence if they want to.
I think they may be doing it because of the fact that because of if it airs earlier, you stand more of a chance of gaining more viewers. I think probably that's why they've done it.
I just think it could piggyback off Legends though, like Black Lightning does on the Flash. I don't know. I mean, we'll see if it does improve the ratings. I think it will get a season 8, and then it will end. I think season 8 will definitely be its final season.
Yeah, there's no way it could go beyond the 8th season.
No.
I just can't see it happening.
No. I mean, I'd be fine with it ending. Like, I remember, have you read the What Culture article about why it should end?
Yeah, it's one of the best articles I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's really good, and it's it's dead on. So, if it does end in season 7, I'd be fine with it. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't be fine with it, but I would be fine with it to some extent. Just because I feel like season 8 might be just a filler season, which I don't really want as the final season of Arrow. So I guess I have to wait and see how it goes. But yeah, I mean, we discuss this all the time, like about Arrow and its lifespan. But we still got a couple more news pieces to go. There was a couple of new trailers released. So we got a new trailer for Supergirl, which you just watched before. I actually quite like the trailer. I remember going into it, I was thinking, oh, here we go. Supergirl starting again, here we go. But it was, I actually thought it was quite cool.
It was alright, but nothing exceptional. Facts.
I mean, as I said earlier, we got to see Naya Nal. I really like that character so far. We also get to see our first proper good look at Agent Liberty and also Sam Witwer as Agent Liberty. And he looks great.
Yeah.
I don't know, the suit's a bit weird to me, though. The suit's a bit off.
We talk about Agent Liberty's suit?
Yeah.
Nah, I can't. At least, even if it's weird, it's not as weird as that weird Power Ranger suit that Kara.
Oh yeah, that's in the trailer as well.
Oh god,
I'm still baffled by that. I'm still absolutely baffled. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's used for. I don't know why it's in the show. I mean, I understand it was a body double for Melissa Benoist, but then it's just gonna be so weird. I want to see how they're gonna explain that because when you look at her in the show now, like when you look at her filming, like episode 5 that they're on now, she's in her regular suit. Where is that suit gone?
I'm so excited for that explanation.
I know. I want to see how they write their way out of this. Imagine they just like destroy it after like 2 episodes. It gets like destroyed. It's just like a massive waste of money on the CW's part. It's just like they couldn't have like delayed filming like a couple of weeks. But I was convinced that was going to be the Red Kara suit because it made perfect sense because it had the mask and everything, so you could use just another actress inside of it. But no, it's really weird. We also get a look at Mercy Graves, who's going to be that's Lex Luthor's ex bodyguard, and she's also going to be like a main threat in at least the first half of the season because that Red Kara is not coming into the back half. So she is going to be a major threat. She's kind of like building like an army, it seems like. And obviously she's got Agent Liberty as well. There's also Manchester Black, who's not in the trailer, which I kind of was hoping
That was
he
weird.
would.
I would have thought he'd been in the trailer. Manchester
Because a lot of people are saying that he's the big bad of the season. Even though that... I don't know what's going on. I don't know what that Red Kara is. We just
I don't know. The whole season just fucked up. Let's just admit that.
To be honest, I have hope going into this season, and I am remaining hopeful just because... Season 3, obviously say what you want about it. Obviously, we've said plenty on this podcast about Season 3. But it did have potential. There was stuff there, and there was good stuff in it. The first 9 episodes, solid. So I just feel like they need to hit the ground running. And I think Season 3, could be a good stepping stone. We just need to get there. So, yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. But I like the trailer, personally. It's just there are a few things that kind of put me off, like that other suit, and also Agent Liberty's suit puts me off a little bit. Like, I don't mind the chest piece, it's the mask I don't like. I don't know why they've gone with that color. It's a bit dull, and also that shot is very dark, so you can't really see it. But yeah, I like the trailer overall. It's all right.
It's all right, but not very remarkable. We'll move on.
We did get a Flash trailer as well.
Get in.
Which this trailer was decent. It was all right. Again, we get to see Cicada standing quite menacingly over Joe West.
Joe's dying.
Getting a lightning bolt.
We're gonna put that in the title just for the views. Joe dies.
Joe's
confirmed. Joe's dead. Confirmed. Explained. Revealed.
Yeah. Hashtag confirmed. Joe dead. And then we also get to see some other stuff. Like we do get to see Nora doing some more stuff, which is cool. And also, it seems like Barry is like Nora does say she's stuck in our time, so that's finally there. I mean, we all kind of knew that anyway, but yeah, there we go. It's officially in writing. And also, Barry's just like questioning her, trying to find out what actually happened to him in the future. So yeah, hashtag Barry dead confirmed.
Yeah, Barry's dead in the future. Either that or yeah, definitely.
It seems like everyone's dead in the future. Like Cisco dies as well, so yeah. And also, like they actually talk about Cicada, and she's like, "Oh yeah, you beat him, or at least you're supposed to." So she has majorly fucked up the timeline once again.
Just like her dad.
Yep. It's all hereditary. So yeah, I mean, the Flash trailer wasn't anything remarkable either. Thing is with these trailers is they're all like, the simple promo trailers. So they all have like, they're only 40 seconds long each.
Yeah.
And they're just the regular trailers you get. I just need the Arrow and the Legends one. So
mainly the Arrow one. We just want to see more of the Arrow one.
To be honest, I'm actually more excited about the Legends one because we haven't seen anything. Like we've seen like barely anything from Legends season 4. Like it's the one show we've seen the least of.
Yeah.
So I need to see more Legend stuff because like with Arrow, like I'm not as I mean, I do want to see a new trailer obviously, but I'm not as desperate because it's the one we've seen the most of probably because that whole trailer was new footage. So yeah, but I do want to see a new Arrow trailer obviously. You just
want to see an Arrow trailer where at the end they reveal Roy Harper as the Green Arrow. That's all you want.
Yes. I want to see him take the mask off and it's Roy's beautiful bearded face. Because Roy is having a beard this season. They've told him he's not allowed to shave it. That's great. So yeah, we just need to wait on these trailers. Maybe by next week we might have them. I thought we would have had the Arrow trailer by now, to be honest. But maybe thing is they're trying to keep Arrow season 7 massively under wraps, so maybe they're not going to do one. Maybe they said we've given you a Comic-Con trailer full of new footage. You're not getting anything else. So maybe that might be it. But we need a Legends one. We need some new Legends footage desperately because it's just like there's nothing to chew on like at all. So give me that now. So speaking of Legends, we are going to do our top 5 Legends of Tomorrow season 3 episodes. Easily the most difficult list to come up with.
Yeah, definitely.
Easily. Because this entire... I mean, we didn't do a season 3 review because we hadn't started this podcast back then. But season 3 was so good. And it was just like... There's only one episode I don't like, which is episode 2. Other than that episode, I think the entire season is brilliant. Like, it's so funny. It's inventive. It's innovative. It's just so entertaining. It was like... every week it was the one I was most excited to watch. It just never slowed down with its ridiculousness. It was just full on legend. You know, it really brought like Damien Dark really up to the forefront as a great villain. We got like new introductions like Zari, who I really liked. Wally got onto the team. Constantine came in. Bebo. Malice. Like there was so much good stuff in season 3 of Legends, and it was easily the best show last season. Easily.
Yeah, there was no question. Like it was weird because like I think last season overall was probably one of the worst like years for DCTV, but like Legends was like the one show that was like just consistently like really good / great.
Yeah, all right, that's actually weird because I remember looking back because I remember we had a conversation very early on last season where we said, "Well, this has had a bit of a rough start," and it never really picked up, did it?
No.
Legends was consistent, and the only show that really picked up was Arrow at the end.
At the last 6 episodes.
That's spoilers for our next episode.
We're not going to spoil which episodes go where. We're just saying them last 6 episodes saved. They saved season 6 so bad.
I know they literally did save it. Like they went out on such a high that it makes us look back on the season and make it think it was all right. Even though most of it was a pretty awful mess, to be honest. But yes, we shall dive in now. Given the fact that you've gone first, I'm going to go first this week.
Yeah.
So my number 5, again, I just want to say that this list was so hard to come up. I love pretty much all the episodes, so I just had to choose 5. I don't even know if this is in a particular order, but these are just the 5 episodes that kind of stood out to me. And I do want to mention as well, particularly, I didn't put this episode on my list, but I just want to mention it because it's amazing, which is episode 13, which is, what's the episode called again?
No Country for Old Dads, I think.
That's the one. It was on the tip of my tongue. And the reason I mention this is because I believe this has the single greatest line in Arrowverse. Every time I hear it, I can't help my head off, and I have got it right here. Nora Dark says, "Well, I'm not enjoying myself. I'm annoyed." And Damien Dark simply replies, "Hi, annoyed. I'm Dad." I genuinely think that is the greatest line ever.
I don't understand. Nah, this man has.
What, have you never heard that joke before?
Nah, I mean, I've heard of it
where
before.
Someone says, "Oh, I'm hungry," and he goes, "Oh, hi, hungry. I'm this."
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious.
But I don't laugh at that kind of stuff.
I just thought it was so funny. I see it all the time. It makes me laugh.
This man cries
every time
easily.
I hear it.
This man cries easily. He jokes up easily. He's
Look, all I'll say is Damien Dark is the lad, and he was brilliant in this season. He was so funny.
Well, yeah, he was really good. Yeah, won't argue that. But
anyway, I was hoping that'd be a lot more comedic section of the episode, but I guess not.
Nah,
so I'm going to move on to my number 5. I have gone for guest starring John Noble.
Oh, this episode.
So this was the penultimate episode of the season, and it was pretty fun as we got to see John Noble, who is obviously a very famous actor from Lord of the Rings. We actually get to go to the set of Lord of the Rings in this, and it's weird because we get to see John Noble in the flesh, but he also voices the main villain of the season, Malice.
Yeah.
So we got some weird, like, fourth wall breaking stuff. But this was just a cool episode overall. I just think it was... And you get to see some really interesting stuff throughout. Like I said, they are basically trying to deal with, like, 2 anachronisms at once in order to, like, stop Malice. And they also have to form an alliance with one of their enemies, which ends up being Nora and also Damien. And also Kuasa comes back into it at that point as well. So there's a lot of really cool episodes. Also, we get to see Obama in this as well, and we get the great Run Barry Run reference, which is great. There's another great sort of thing with that. And we also get to see, like, this is, like, coming off of the Ava episode, so we get to see them kind of dealing with that. So I just thought this was, like, a really fun episode. Also, Grodd comes back in this episode as well, which is cool. So there's just a lot of cool stuff, and I enjoyed this episode quite a lot, mainly just because, again, it just kind of shows why it's ridiculous.
Yeah. No, I'm even kind of like debating my number 5 because, like you said, like there's so many good episodes. There's so many. But I've gone with mine. Mine's actually going to be your honourable mention. I've gone for number 30, episode 13. And
it is really good.
I really like this episode because, like, Damien Dark with that wig automatically lands this episode in the top 5.
Please, the Javier Bardem wig is amazing.
I have the only wig I've ever seen in my life that holds any competition to that is the wig used by the main actor in Samurai Cop Watch that film; it's amazing.
Yeah.
But this is a close second. This is a beautiful wig. I want to find Neil McDonough, and I want to know where he got that wig from because it's beautiful. But
I want to own it.
I want it as well. I'll take that and a Bevo. They're the two things I want the most in life. Give me that wig and Bevo. Beautiful. But like, I really like the episode. I find it really funny. Like, it's probably one of the funniest episodes of Legends, just because it's I don't know. Just like the way that they integrated the two Virgin Damien Dart was so cool. I like the stuff that they did with Nora and Ray, which was something that they've kind of been developing the whole season. Which I really liked. They've really integrated Wally well into the episode. They had that awesome moment with him. Just in general, I remember the episode because it was so funny, and I just remember like from the beginning to end, it was like just such a really enjoyable episode. I just loved it, but mainly for the wig. Hashtag wig out.
That wig does make it so worth it. It's just like you get to see Damien fight old Damien, and there's another great line from Damien where he says, "I'm going to kick my ass." There's so many good lines from Damien. Like, I mean, this is what I've always said. Like, when Damien was the main villain of Arrow season 4, it just didn't work because he didn't fit Arrow. And I said back then, I always said he should be on Legends. He is a Legends villain through and through. And as soon as he came onto Legends, he is brilliant, especially in season 3 because he has so much spotlight. I'm kind of sad he's dead because I really wanted to come back in season 4. I just need him to come back because he was easily one of the best things about the season.
Yeah, but this is Arrowverse, mate. Nobody dies. unless you're like
he became Malice, and
yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I want to hope maybe there's a way that he can come back, but I don't think he will. But to be honest, he left on a high note anyway, so I'm more than happy.
Yeah, I mean, Legends kind of I think could always find a way to bring characters back because it's a time travel show at the end of the day. Like they've said that Rip Hunter will come back next season, but I still feel like Rip Hunter will come back at some point.
Oh, he definitely is.
Just because I don't think you can keep Rip away for too long. No. So
if they don't announce anything by December, we're just gonna grill Arthur Darvill about it at Wales Comic Con.
Well, I'm pretty sure they said he's not going to appear in season 4 at all.
Bullshit.
But it's either that or he will show up in like season 5 or something because he will show up again. He will. So my number 4, I'm going to go for the Curse of the Earth Totem. I really enjoyed this episode just because I like pirates. I think they're cool. My favorite Assassin's Creed game is easily Black Flag. And there's even some references to that as well, which is cool. Also, it's quite interesting because Constantine is in this episode briefly, and he's actually the voice of Edward Kenway in Assassin's Creed 4, which I didn't know until this year. So that's cool. But yeah, I really like the reason I like this episode is because it really capitalizes on why I like the season so much, and that's because the whole backdrop of the season, the whole main storyline is they're trying to collect these elemental totems. And I really love that idea of these elemental totems. Like, I've seen other people compare it to obviously Avatar: The Last Airbender, which it was a show I was a big fan of as a kid. So it's taking those elements and bringing it into Legends. I really loved it. And the Earth Totem, like, I always wanted to be an Earthbender when I was a kid. That was like what I always wanted to be. I'm just saying, I'm bringing this back, right? Because obviously when you're a kid, you're just like, oh, which one would I want to be? Which one would I want to do? I wanted to be an Earthbender because I thought they were strong and they were cool and they were just like badasses. And, you know, you get to see the Earth Totem here, which is really awesome. I really like the fact, you know, you can actually just use it, just manipulate. And you also get, like, some really cool pirate adventures. You get to see Blackbeard in this. You get to see Amaya pretending to be, you know, dreaded Captain Jouet, which is cool. Nate gets to use the Earth Totem because he actually gets given the Earth Totem at a point. And he's the one who bears it, which is nice. So, yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was really awesome. And yeah, like I said, it just really capitalized on why I like that season so much.
No, I really like that episode as well.
Also, Wally's great in it.
Yeah, Wally's great in it as well. But that episode's not actually in my top 10. I don't know how I managed to not get in, but it's like, yeah, it just, there was something about it that just didn't make me want to put it on. So my number 4 is actually going to be episode 10. Danny Darkest, which is
good episode.
which is like the first proper episode that Constantine's in. I mean, he's in like the mid-season finale for like 20 seconds, but this is like his first proper episode. And I just really like this one because like right from the get-go, like they make Constantine work on Legends so well. Like he integrates perfectly with the whole cast because of his like skill set, and just like the dynamic he brought to the team was just really awesome. Just the way it was integrated. I love Constantine. Like I loved the TV series, and they should never have cancelled that. I still don't know why to this day they never renewed it.
You know, I've never seen it. I'm gonna start watching it like as soon as I finish Iron Fist. I only got 1 to go. It's on Amazon Prime, which I now subscribe to.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go watch it.
Yeah, it's a definite watch. It's really good, and I just love Matt Ryan as the character. He's so good, and like seeing him on here was really well done. I liked this more like horror aspect to it. Was really cool. I really like Citizen Cold as well, and it was it's like the and like just him was really really funny, and then like he had that farewell with Mick, which was really nice to see. Just in general, this whole episode I just really like, mainly because of Constantine, but I just liked how different it felt because of the whole like more horror setting of it. It was just really really cool to see. Very much reminded me of like the kind of film like horror movies you'd see in the 80s, like set in these like creepy mansions. Like it was really fun, cool. And it was like, I as a horror fan, like I'm just a sucker for that kind of stuff. So it really like, you know, it gravitated towards me.
Yeah, there was because they did sort of play on the horror elements in that episode, like with Nora and everything being like basically the Exorcist, which was quite interesting. And yeah, that was Constantine's introduction to the show, and I'm so glad he's a series regular. I just need to see what he's going to get up to because he's such a good addition. Every time he shows up, he's great. So yeah, that's a good episode. My number 3, I've gone for Necromancing the Stone. This episode is a big Constantine episode as well. We get to see Constantine really team up with the legend that is Gary, and we get to see them two playing Dungeons and Dragons together. And there's a lot of great jokes in that regarding that. Gary is just amazing. Like, I need more Gary in my life, just because he's Gary and he just has the best lines up there with Damien. Like, there's a great moment in this where he's talking. Says, "Did you and your D&D crew manage to find the whatever?" And he says, "No, we didn't. We died at the hands of blah blah blah." and Ava's just like, "Gary!" Like, it's just a great moment. And you get to sort of, this is like the setup of the Constantine and Gary ship as well. Which is just like, you know, it's not even one of those things where normally this was like a ship. I'd normally my eyes over this kind of stuff, but because it's just so obviously a joke, like, it's so self-aware at this point. But also, this episode's kind of special in another way because we get to see Jesse Quick show up in this episode, very, very briefly, as it's kind of like a way of tempting Wally. And it's really nice to see Jesse Quick. I think she only showed up in one episode of The Flash this season, so it was nice to see her show up again somewhere else in the universe. And again, it just kind of kept that continuity of this all being in the same universe, and I always like when there's crossovers and things. So it was nice to see that. And again, gave Wally like a little bit more depth, because this was like him fully getting over Jesse, who broke up with him before. So that was cool. And also we get to see Sarah turn into the Death Wish, or the Death Witch. So this is when we find out the final totem is the Death Totem. And we get to see her turn into the Death Witch, which is quite cool. Kind of just made Sarah even more badass than she already was. So yeah, that leads to quite a lot of funny moments with Mick as well. So yeah, especially it's like they lock her in the thing. It's like, "What'd you do that for?" It's like, "Better her, not me." And he's just like, "How can you say that?" "By moving my lips." Like, it's just, there's so many great moments. I mean, Mick is I say this all the time, but like every character on the show is amazing. This is just why I love Legends in season 3. It's just so funny. And yeah, I just enjoyed this episode a lot. And again, it's just because it was so Constantine heavy. This was like easily the episode with like the most of Constantine this season. So, yeah, I just enjoyed it mainly and purely for that.
God, I forgot how much I loved that episode. Oh,
it's
like, this is the thing. Like, Legends is just so funny. Like, I forget.
Yeah, it is. It's hysterical. Like, thing is, like, Legends has come quite a long way, because in season 1, like, I probably enjoyed season 1 a lot more than most people, but like season 1 was way too serious. Like, it took itself way too seriously. And then when you get to season 2, it starts to kind of walk on its own a little bit. You know, they do the Legion of Doom, and you get a lot of funny stuff in season 2. But season 3 just fully accepted what it is and just said, right, we know we're ridiculous, we're stupid, let's just go for it, and it did, and it's all the better for it.
Yeah, God. My number 3 is actually going to be in episode 5, Return of the Mac.
Oh,
one of the best sequences in the entire season. The whole
purely on name alone.
Oh, it's beautiful. I think I gotta say, it's one of the best uses of like a licensed song in an episode.
And it's such a tune as well.
Oh, it's a banger. It's like, and then the fact that they like integrated like Damien's movements into like the actual beat of the song. Yeah. The bit was just like the messing around on the like the disc, and it's just like with his finger. Oh. Oh, it's amazing. But yeah, I like the episode just because, like, once again, it's an episode that was just really, really funny. Kind of a trope on vampires, that kind of thing. Once again, like I said with the last pick for mine, I'm a sucker for anything that's horror, so obviously that kind of stuck out to me. And we watched the episode like a few weeks ago, and I only just realised how like story centric the episode is. Like, I didn't realise how much it actually advanced the plot. Like, you know, bringing back Damien sets up Malice. You get introduced to more elements of the Time Bureau. Like, it really does like forward the main storyline, and I really like that as well. Like, the episode can have fun, but it knows how to like pace the story along really well. And I just love the episode for that reason. Like, out of the first half of the season, it's by far the best episode in my opinion. Like, that's not saying that the rest of them are awful. It's just that one really stood out to me, just because of how much it advanced the plot, but just also how much fun it had at the same time. But yeah, I mean, I've not got a lot to say about it other than, you know, I just really enjoyed it. And yeah, I'd choose that for the number 3.
Yeah, it's a very good episode, which is why I've put it at number 2. Yeah, I mean, I have to say that Return of the Mac might be one of my favorite songs of the time. Yeah. So to just to see it show, I remember when they released the name of this episode, when they first released the title, and I was just like, oh, what are they doing now? And then the fact the song plays twice in the episode, it plays right at the beginning and it plays during the final action. Like, the final big action sequence of this episode takes place to Return of the Mac. And again, like you say, Damien's doing the actions in beat to the music, like a Baby Driver. And it's just like, it's insane. And again, you get these really cool stuff as well, like you say, playing on the horror a little bit. Like, there's also like a really interesting thing, which only I would really pick up on, because again, I'm obsessed with this guy, but like Franz Drama does a British accent in this episode for a bit.
Oh my God.
And he is, you know, because he's British in real life. So that was cool to see. But yeah, Return of the Mac, it's just, like you say, it is very story-centric. It really does a lot to progress the plot forward. And again, it just stays with that ridiculous tone. It's so fun. Deals with vampires and werewolves and things like that. And then, like I say, Damien comes back in this episode. Probably to the best reintroduction ever.
Yeah.
Because if I ever die and get resurrected, I want to come back to my person. So, yeah. Play that at my funeral. You're number 1.
God. My number 1, that's my number 2.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah.
Oh my God, this man's already losing track. What a casual. My number 2 is actually going to be episode 15, Necromancer in the Stone. That's going to be my number 2. Not a whole lot to say, because you've pretty much already said like most of what I could say. I mean, I love Constantine in it. Another thing I actually really liked about this episode that you may not realise this until you finish like Constantine the series, but like it actually really like links into the end of Constantine, because I won't spoil it for when you watch that, but like,
doesn't he reference Astra?
Yeah, Astra, and that's like that's like basically like the cliffhanger for season 1 of Constantine. And like, I'm not going to spoil it obviously because Declan hasn't seen it, and for those of you who probably haven't seen it either, but it really links into that, which I really, really appreciated, that, you know, they actually took the time and effort to actually integrate like stories from like the Constantine series into this, which I just thought was really good. And like, I remember like when I watched this, and it was like, I saw people online being like, oh, what's this all about? I'll have to watch Constantine. And like, it was good to see that they actually cared about that original source material, and that like they actually put it into the episode. I really like that. I love seeing like the death totem, like Sarah using that was really, really cool to see. Mick was just really great and funny as usual, as he always is. And Gary and Constantine, the ship was real. I love Gary so much. He's so good.
I mean, he just proved how good he was at Comic-Con when he came out on stage as Bebo, and I just remember I've said this before, but when he took the helmet off and it was Gary, and everyone in the audience started going, Gary. Like, it was just so funny.
That was the best moment of like all the Arrowverse shows at Comic-Con.
Oh, it was. It was just like, it was the best of both worlds. We had Bebo come on, followed by Gary under the mask, and it's really funny if you look at the photos from like the party, like the after party. There's like loads of photos from the legends at the after party, like the cast members, and like the actor who plays Gary is in the after party, and he's sat there with like all the girls, and he looks like that creepy uncle who wasn't invited but showed up anyway. He's sat there with like, cocktail sausages and his like his shirt's like open, buttons down.
Oh god.
It looks amazing.
Oh, but no, it was easily like, I really like this episode, and I just out of the two like Constantine focus episodes, like in terms of episode 10 and episode 15, this was probably just edged out as my favorite one. I just really enjoyed it. Yeah, can't really say a lot else because I'd just be pretty much repeating what you've said, but yeah, really like the episode.
Yeah, it was a wonderful episode.
Yeah.
It really was. I enjoyed it. So, here we go.
I reckon we probably got the same pick for number one.
Probably do, yeah. Yeah. Number one is the Good, the Bad, and the Cuddly, which is the season finale. What a way to end it. What a way to go out. I mean, just so many things in this. They brought back so much stuff. Like, they brought back Helen of Troy from the very beginning of the season, who, can I just say, is amazing in this episode.
Yeah.
Like, her fighting is so cool. Like, she should be... Because, obviously, last time we saw her, we left her on Themyscira, which is where Wonder Woman's from, and she basically comes back as Wonder Woman in this episode, which is... I mean, it's the closest thing we'll ever get to Wonder Woman in the DCTV stuff.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. They brought back Jax for this episode.
Oh my.
Which
even though they barely used him.
And they didn't use him correctly. No, they had a perfect opportunity to, make him...
No, don't start this again.
But they didn't.
No.
They didn't do it, even though they had the perfect opportunity. They could have given him the fire totem, but they didn't. I'm very angry about that. And Franz Drama agrees with me. But it was great to see him again, and I really Jax. I really wish he'd come back for season 4, but on the show they've actually given him a kid now, just like in real life. So, because that's what they actually say, because it's been like 5 years in his time, so he's now got like a 5-year-old kid, or maybe no, the kid would be 5, but yeah, he's got a kid now anyway. So that's why Jax can't return to the show. Although I'm pretty sure he will come back from time to time. He did tell me that, like, it's always open sort of thing.
Oh.
So, because we're friends. He's listening to this. He knows.
Yeah, he definitely is. Go and mention when we upload this. Just mention him on Twitter and just be like, "My buddy Franz, watch this, please." Get ourselves a celebrity supporter.
Repping since Attack the Block. That is a great film.
That is really good. Watch it.
If you're a fan of the Arrowverse and you've not seen Attack the Block, it was Franz Drama's like first big movie, and he's so good in it, and it's a great film as well. It's also John Boyega's like breakout role from Star Wars,
and also the new Doctor is in it. Yeah,
Jodie Whittaker's in it as well, and Nick Frost is in it. It's just a great film. Anyway, going back on point, they just brought back a lot of stuff, and obviously the best thing about the episode is how they took down Malice.
Oh,
they all held hands, they all combined, and they became...
And they created a baby.
As Mick said in the episode, worst orgy ever. He's like, we're making a baby. And they're all just holding hands. Why is Bree's hair so soft? And they'll just sat there. They have to try and think of this thing that's going to, stop Malice. And what I think it's Nate, he thinks about Bebo. And because they're all interlocked, they all start thinking about Bebo. And then they fired Bebo. And it's the best. I remember I was sat there watching this on my lunch break in my office, trying so hard to hold in my laughter. It was just absolutely hysterical. The only thing Legends would get away with is having a giant CGI Bebo take on a giant CGI Malice. And just seeing them go at it. and the way that it's making all the Bebo noises as well.
God.
This episode was just phenomenal. Also, we got Rip Hunter's death, which I did not see coming at all.
No.
I didn't think they would kill Rip in this episode at all, but they did. They finally... Well, I say finally. I'm really sad that they killed Rip because he was one of my favorite characters. As we mentioned earlier, we are actually going to Wales Comic Con in December, so it's not quite as upper class as Heroes and Villains Fan Fest in London, but it's
Definitely
Wales Comic
not.
Con. But Arthur Darville is there, and I'm meeting him. So that'll be another legend off my bucket list. But I was very sad to see Rip Hunter go. Very, very sad. Because like I say, he's probably one of my favorite characters in the Arrowverse. If I did like a top 10 characters, he'd probably be in there. Oh, that's a good topic idea. Let me write that down.
Oh my
It's a good topic idea, that. Just saved us a week worth of thinking there.
Really nice to say this.
But obviously your number one is also this episode, so...
Yeah, my number one's this episode as well. Pretty much for the same reasons. There's so much I love about this episode. Like, I mean, like you said, the death of Rip Hunter like came out of nowhere. Like, I didn't expect Rip to die at all. Like, especially since, you know, I thought they'd written him out at the end of the second season. Like, I thought that was him gone completely. And then, like, obviously they brought him back now. It's like, there's no way they're gonna like end his character. And then obviously, you know, that happened. I still think maybe he could return, but
I think he will.
I think
he will.
I want him to, just because
I
love all the characters to come back. But
yeah, I mean, there is the theory because obviously they have announced that a character is going to be returning in an Kill the Legends, and one of the theories that it's Rip. I don't think it will be Rip just because they've done Evil Rip before.
yeah,
I don't think they'll do it again. I think it is Jax. I think it will be Jax. Imagine. I was thinking though, wouldn't it be cool if it was Firestorm? Like not just Jax, if they brought back Stein as well. Because Victor Garber was it here? I think he was at where was he at? He was at Dragon Con.
yeah,
And he was saying he wants the Legends to pick him up for an episode this season. So Victor Garber wants to come back as well.
Damn.
So I think it'd be cool if for this evil legend if they did Firestorm. Because if they did Jax, it wouldn't really make sense because he's just Jax is just a guy. But if they did Jax and Stein, then you could have Firestorm.
Yeah, I mean that'd be like way more interesting. I'd really like to see that, but only if they don't make him really underpowered like they did with Firestorm in Legends. Like we love Legends, but they really like underpowered them badly.
What were you saying?
So after that, once again, another technical error on this podcast because that is the only thing we seem to be consistent at anymore.
Exactly.
I'm getting away from that theory we're on about, even if we include that in this podcast, considering how many times the audio cut out. I just realised this episode just because, like, obviously, you know, you have Jax back, you got, you know, Rip Hunter's death, you got Damien Dark sacrifice himself. I never thought that would happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and Bebo was just amazing. Just like the whole fight between Bebo, like all the legends as Bebo and Malice. It was just, it was amazing. I'm so happy that I woke up early in the morning to watch that episode because it made me feel so good for the rest of the day. It was just the best.
There's so much in that episode.
There's too much.
That is the perfect exemplification.
Yeah.
As to why Legends is amazing.
Yeah, it's just there's too much goodness in it. It's so good. Like it's just so rewatchable, and it's like when I think of this season, and I think of all the things that have like worked so well about it, like kind of like the perfect. Like culmination of all the things of Legends Season 3. I think of this episode. I think it just got everything right, and it's just such a good way to end this season. And then obviously at the end, you know, with Constantine and your boy Gary, you know, set up Season 4. Like,
that's a great ending scene.
Yeah,
like just the way he shows up is like, well, you opened the door, love, and Malice wasn't the only thing that got out. That was a pretty good Constantine. That was a pretty good Matt Ryan.
I can't wait for Season 4.
I know.
Just him in it.
Like overall, Season 3 was like so good, and I think they've really hit their stride now, and they've really sort of found their footing as why Legends works and how it works. And in Season 4, we're just going to get more of that. I don't know if Season 4 will be better than Season 3, just because I feel like we might go in with two. I'm trying to keep my expectations, realistic, because I don't want to, because I didn't expect season 3 to be like that. So,
No. I mean, we don't want it to fall to the season 4 curse, because it's already broken the season 3 one.
Yeah, it's already broken. Yeah, it's broken. Because normally season 3 is the step down season, but season 3 was the best season. So, hopefully season 4 isn't a complete train wreck. I don't think it will be. I think it'll easily be maybe the best season, if not the second best season. It's there's so much riding on it, especially because they are just embracing the ridiculousness. Like we say, Constantine is a series regular, Ava Sharp's a series regular, Gary's going to be coming back, Bebo's coming back, so there's so much riding on it. So I feel like season 4 is going to do a lot. The only thing that I feel is missing from season 4, and again, this isn't really a problem with Legends, this is more of a problem with the actor, is obviously that Wally West is not returning.
Yeah.
Because Wally was such a good addition in season 3. He came in about halfway through and he was great. We all loved Wally. He fit so much better on Legends than he did on The Flash. So it's a shame he's not in season 4. I really wanted him to be. But obviously, Keenan Lonsdale, he wants to go off and do other stuff. And I don't really blame him because he wasn't exactly treated well on The Flash. So I don't really blame him. But yeah, that's the only thing. If I would be ultimately hyped for season 4 if Wally was still a member of the team. But I guess we just have to accept that he's not going to be. But we have got Constantine.
It'll still be really weird for me, but I don't know.
Yeah. Plus, I guess Wally was kind of problematic anyway because he's a speedster, but I think they could work their way around it. So that is our top 5 episodes of Legends of Tomorrow season 3. So despite our minor technical issue, as we tend to have. I also just want to point out, I've been very good this episode because that audio glitch has been happening all episode, and I've just managed to keep on top of things, and I've just been managing to kind of pick back up as to where you're talking.
Oh,
so
God.
It was only that time where it completely cut off for about 5 minutes, and I completely lost you entirely.
I don't even know how you're even able to, how? All of your family is asleep. What is using your internet?
I don't know. We're recording this, what time is it now? 11? It's really late at night. And we're still having audio. And I'm even downstairs. I'm literally right next to my router. I don't even know how this is happening. But, oh well. We're at the end of the episode now. We've made it.
Somehow.
So make sure you stay tuned next week. We'll be capping off this series with our top 5 episodes of Arrow, which obviously is not going to be hard to guess at all. It's just
Fundamentals number 1. Fundamentals number 1.
Yeah, on docket number blah 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 number 1.
Nah, Prometheus fan. Prometheus is number 1. We all know this.
You know how much I love Prometheus. You know how much I adore Prometheus. Episode 21, man.
Hello, Oliver. Long time.
Yeah. Oh, can they just find an excuse to bring back Prometheus once every season?
Please.
Because I'm rewatching season 5 at the moment now, and just seeing Prometheus, he's so cool. He's so good.
I bet it's weird when you're rewatching all of early season 5 and it's just you watch Agent Chase and it's just
really obvious.
Yeah.
And it's probably just because obviously I know it and it's probably not as obvious as I think it is. But you just see stuff obviously when he says, "Oh, don't worry, I don't hold grudges" and things like that. This is these little digs here and there, and you just there's another thing as well that I forget off the top of my head now, but there's a really obvious thing in episode 4 as well that points towards it. But yeah. They need to bring back Prometheus once every season because he's such a good villain.
Oh, he's so good. But we're gonna save that for next week. So try and guess what our number 5 to 2 is because we've already spoiled our number 1s.
So thank you everybody for listening to this episode of our podcast. Like I say, stay tuned for next week. We're doing our top 5 episodes of Arrow season 6. And with all that said, I've been Declan.
I've been Dan.
And we hope to see you guys again next week with less audio issues.
See you.